Hi everyone, I'm Eric.
And I'm Christopher.
And we're Grow For Me Gardening. Today we're doing a mid-August garden check-in.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our garden here in Zone 5B/6A in upstate New York. It is the middle of August and the garden is looking wonderful. So we wanted to take the opportunity to share with you some of the things that look particularly great. And I think you might notice three things looking really good right now, and that would be the summerific hibiscus. The hardy hibiscus here, we have Berry Awesome, which is definitely the biggest of them. It's been there the longest, I believe, too, right, Eric?
This is the one. How many years ago did we plant it? Maybe 4?
Okay, and then behind it is my favorite. That's Evening Rose. A little bit, I don't know. It's
more intense pink.
More intense pink. And then here is Candy Crush. This is cool because it stays a little more upright, and I mean, that's a gorgeous flower.
It really is. I mean, I kind of like the stripe going on in this flower, but Berry Awesome is still my favorite.
It's always been his favorite the whole time. Below that is a plant that's blowing our minds completely. This is Backlight Luminary Phlox. It has been blooming this clear, intense white for how many weeks? 5 weeks?
Since before we went to Cape Cod for the Hydrangea Festival.
Okay, that is a very long time.
And that was before the 4th of July. So it has, I'm honestly shocked it's still blooming.
And it's still going. There's tons of flowers in here. It's just kind of repeat blooming. It does blanket the ground with a little bit of a snowy effect, so I take the leaf blower and clean that up now and then.
Falling on top of the Korean fir down there.
Yeah, that looks a little bit funny, but we're just going to pretend it's not looking so terrible on poor Icebreaker. And also, this time of year, we love to highlight the Serendipity Allium. There are 4 plants here that were cut in half and divided, and then we put them in another place early in the spring. This right now, if you get up close, Eric, I could say there's at least 100 pollinators on there. You've got the bumblebee and the honeybees, and then the tiny flies are on there. It is incredible what a Serendipity Allium bloom attracts. I really love this. We would never be without this in the garden.
And I totally forgot we had divided these. So these were freshly divided specimens.
Yeah, and they still look that good. We have some of our more fall blooms coming. That autumn joycetum's gonna look good soon. The hydrangeas in the back are doing so good. Pinky Winky in the middle, my favorite hydrangea, although it's being taken over by Let's Dance Can Do, Eric, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
They're looking good, but the North Wind Panicum.
It's gorgeous.
This year was the year we thought it was going to have to be divided, and we didn't get to it. We let it go. It still looks fantastic. I think we do have to divide it this year.
It's true. And when you divide grasses, you want to divide them in the spring.
Yes.
So remind us next spring
to divide the North Wind Panicum.
So we need to divide the North Wind Panicum.
You'll see this urn here where we have some budworms on full attack. I have been up on my BT. We had some rain and it kept washing the BT off, and I didn't get back out here. But an annual, just killing the game right now. Rock and Play in the Blue Salvia. It's so good. Another pollinator favorite. We'll always have this in the garden. And then in front of that is the oh so easy peasy. I think by the end of the spring, or summer, I'm so good at the names, but I'm starting to get them tangled in my mouth at this point. So, oh so easy peasy. This has been in bloom nonstop since it started.
They're really pretty little tiny blooms.
They are. They come out in these really big clusters. You do not have to deadhead this if you don't want to. We have done a little bit of deadheading just for some cleanup and tidiness, but realistically, this just goes and goes.
I wanted to start here under the arch. This is the Gothic Arch from Gardener's Supply. Betty Corning Clematis is still blooming. Not as prolifically as earlier in the season, but it's still happening, and you can see all of this new growth on the Generous Gardener Rose. Lots and lots of fresh growth. This red foliage indicates that it's brand new.
Eric, did you notice that there's a lot more tied in?
There is a lot more tied in.
I was out here with a ladder this afternoon.
I also wanted to point out, blooming beautifully right here is Hewitt's Double Pink Thalictrum, and I'm just gonna hold my hand behind the bloom so you can try and focus.
Oh,
how pretty is that? Really pretty.
I would love so much more of this.
And a quick update on our coppiced Winecraft Black Smoke Bush. Remember this spring we coppiced that to the ground? And look at it now. It's beautiful.
I want to say that's got to be 7 feet now from the ground.
It's really stunning. But come on under the arch. The two bobo hydrangeas are looking really nice. We had deadheaded tough stuff, but you can see all of this new growth coming. So we might get some blooms later in the season. But check out this rose. James L. Austin. This is a David Austin English shrub rose. Smells amazing. Intense color. Here's a little fresher bloom right here.
Oh, that's pretty.
I mean, really, really, really nice. More serendipity allium. Our lamb's ear is looking, you know, we had bought this lamb's ear just because it said lamb's ear and it was like the right price. But now I'm wondering if we should reinvestigate different varieties of lamb's ear that we might like better. Like
I
a
think
Helen
so
von
too.
Stein or something like that.
I like the ones that either they have big leaves or really skinny leaves. Ours just kind of has medium.
And before we cross the garden, I also wanted to show you that the Fall in Love Sweetly anemone is starting to flower. And look how budded up it is. So, I mean, it is covered in flowers. Also, check out that castor bean. Really cool.
So fun.
Over here, Christopher, you can see all this new growth that the Sublime, these are Invincible Sublime hydrangeas, have put out. Fresh blooms as well. This is what they look like when they're fresh. This is the second set of blooms over here, so they're a little bit smaller. And as they age, they just get like a deeper jade green. And if I cut them right now and dried them, I wonder if they would stay that color. I bet they would.
Good question.
Weeping Ruby Falls Redbud with the Sublime Hydrangea is one of my favorite combinations in the garden right now. And come up here quick. Hopefully the fountain is not too loud.
The fountain's looking particularly clean right now.
Lady of Shalott roses. They had a really, really nice second flush. You can see they've been deadheaded quite a bit. She is a thorny one. Such a pretty flower. But Christopher, if you back up there, you stay there and I'm going to go over here. This is one of my favorite views in the garden right now, is just this like massive verbena and rock and plane the blue salvia with the weeping white spruce, tottering by gently rose. I mean, look at that. So pretty. And then combined with the Tromnar spruce behind me and everything, one of my top favorite
and the sun just kind of came out in this glowy way around you.
But I'll walk this way because right in front of you over there are the Quickfire Fab hydrangeas. These were planted in 2022 as 2 or 3 gallons. And check out the color. The florets are so, like, they're star-shaped and they create this giant mop head. We did have an enormous storm come through, as most of the country did. And the most we had to suffer was just heavy rains and, you know, a couple of flopped branches. And these held up very well in that storm. Really happy with that. More serendipity allium. It just really repeats.
This is
so
the collection
nicely.
that we had divided.
Oh, that's true.
This is where all those divisions went.
And then underneath serendipity allium, look at the Tough Stuff Top Fun blooms. Let me just pull this branch off. So you can see the first round of blooms faded. Second round of blooms looking gorgeous. Third round is coming. 3 sets of blooms on one hydrangea. And these are babies. I mean, they were just planted last fall. So they've got a long way to go. In front of it, the hedge of the Super Junior Mini Vista Plum Veined is looking really nice. But
This also took on a little bit of the budworm damage, but it has been thoroughly sprayed.
come in here. Ancient Mariner Rose.
Probably my favorite rose in the garden.
It really does a gorgeous job for us. Covered in buds. Now my favorite rose in the garden is right here. Flavorette Honey Apricot Rose. It is such a cool color with that orangey peach in the center and the pinky apricot on the exterior. Nice, healthy habit.
So pretty.
And that combined with this Verbena venerensis, it's dreamy.
Early this spring, I started 29 dahlia plants. Well, I didn't start 29, but I ended up with 29. Look at this flower. I think this is what I'm saving. When you start dahlias from seed, you're not guaranteed to get any one particular flower. So you might get something like this.
I love that one.
I really like that one. I also really like this one that's kind of, it's like lemon meringue.
I like that one too.
Love that one. But wait a second, look at this one.
We could just sit here all day and say, I like that one.
Well, we have to do a couple more. There's got to be.
Look at these three friends.
Aw, they're having a nice time. But this, I mean, what a lovely flower. I feel like you could spend 20 minutes talking about all these different details in it. And oh my goodness, I like that one. There's some more vivid ones. There's some softer colors. This one's kind of like almost like a traditional.
Oh,
look at that.
Interesting.
That's a really nice one. So we have 29 of these in here, all giving us something different, something new, different heights even. But I really have enjoyed having this dahlia patch here. We also have zinnias that I started from seed that have been doing equally as well.
Oh, they really have.
And then, oh, before we get over there, can we just mention that Eustacia vi, these are 3 plants that were transplanted last year, and they had a rough go of things. They've grown very nicely. They've now, I think, maybe taken on thrips. Part of the August garden, you never know what kind of fun you're going to get. Let me pop around here, Eric, and point out the zinnias.
Oh, the Rose of Sharon is blooming.
Oh, yes, purple
Ooh,
pillar.
Little Lime Punch is punching up. Sorry, I'm
so
distracted.
much is happening, right? Alpenglow was the zinnia that I chose. The Petite Fleurette Dahlia and the Alpenglow zinnias are the ones I ordered from Fleurette Farm. And I like these because you get this color, this like bisque color, and a lavender one, and a pink one. And they all fade to this little lavender center. I'm really liking the pastel-y soft quality of these flowers. It's been quite a joy.
Ooh, this one is pretty purple.
We had quite a late start on planting the Eden corn, and we did plant them rather thickly. And then I really meant to thin these out this morning, and I did not get to it. But they're growing. We're going to have our lovely little corn stalks. Whether or not they produce corn or if we just use them for decoration, well, we're going to get something out of them.
We're going to get something.
And they might just be short. Who knows? It'll be, you know.
Also, we should probably fertilize them at some point.
We might need to.
We have forgotten to do that.
The Jacqui little pumpkin that I started from seed is so precious. I'm like, they're little tiny baby Cinderella pumpkins.
They are cute.
And it's finally taken off. It took so long for it to get going, and now it's doing its thing. Down here, as you may have seen in a recent video, we have planted up with some lettuce, something called mizuna, a couple different interesting cool weather crops that we're going to learn about. This is a celery, rosemary, there's cypress vine going up and over our heads, as well as a string bean. Oh, you missed one. Eric just did a big old harvest.
Thank you.
The strawberries have been producing really nice. These are the Seascape variety. We have 4 of them in each of the 2x2 beds. The Jardin bird cage, this is the 22 or 26 inch, I can't remember the size, just for decoration. It's not holding anything up. Although, I don't know what kind of pepper this is, but we have one. Do you remember?
Banana pepper.
That banana pepper, there we go. These are all identical to each other. And the black strawberry tomatoes are producing really nicely. These are delicious. They start out kind of this black mottled color. They turn sort of this red jewel tone, which is really nice. We eat these raw in salad a lot. And I remember last year Eric cooked with them. So black strawberry for the win.
Oh yeah, I gotta make that recipe again.
Oh yeah, you did that like burrata kind of, not burrata, bruschetta,
like a bruschetta
kind of thing.
Yeah.
These are some human error containers happening right here. A little fertilizer, a little BT to spray for budworms, and these should start reflushing. I want to show you this as well. From bare root, just this spring, Malvern Hills Rambling Rose has decided to grace us with this apparently 5'10" exactly my height, new growth. And I've been training it in with a silicone coated wire, just giving it a little bit of a twist. But look at the flower, Eric.
We chose this rose for its narrow habit and its lack of thorns. It has minimal thorns, and it's reblooming.
And very, very light in the fragrance. This, Eric, is going to get trained back in, so don't cut that one.
I won't.
Okay.
Well, come on up here, Christopher. Check out our Mongaves that we've been growing this year. This is Thunderbird Mongave. And it does have, this one doesn't get as much sun as the other one. Look at the variation in there. It's green and purple. Very interesting. We have a couple of things we still need to plant, including a clematis and a Pinky Winky Prime Hydrangea. So we're brainstorming. We have some big plans in the works. Thinking about that. And this one right here is Night Owl Mongave.
You know, this has grown a lot more than I realized. I don't think I've looked at it up close in a while.
They're a really interesting plant. Our patio peach has the peaches on it. This is a little annual update. We have Supertunia Saffron Finch, Super Bina Sparkling Amethyst, and Supertunia Mini Vista Indigo. But the shining star for me this season is this Augusta Lavender Heliotrope. We've never grown this before, and I think it's just an awesome annual. It keeps growing and growing and growing. It does this weird thing where, like, the flower buds come out like this, and then they kind of unfurl. And that's how it keeps blooming.
It's very interesting to watch.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. The other thing that's been doing very well for us are the Supertunia Saffron Finches,
which I have to say are probably the most budworm resistant of the plants in our garden, of the petunias in our garden. Just as anecdotal, not scientific, but I have witnessed it.
But come in here to look at the part shade hanging baskets. Double Delight Apple Blossom Begonia. Double Delight Primrose, and then this is Summer Wave Large Blue Terenia. I'm really happy with these this year. The only downside to having begonias right here is it's right above our seating, so we do get a lot of droppings of spent begonia petals.
Yes, and as long as they get leaf blowed off before they dry, they usually flop right off.
Yeah, we just gotta stay on top of it. Look at the ferns, the Divina ferns. Did I get it right? Divana ferns.
Living Lace Divana. They are growing a lot in these little pots.
As are these. These are houseplants. They're Leaf Joy houseplants. It's the houseplant line from Proven Winners. This is an alocasia called Jungle Cat. This is a calathea called
Colorful.
And this is a type of ficus called, it sounds like a beer,
Amstel King.
Amstel King ficus.
Yes.
Oh shoot. Emerald Isle, elephant ear.
Which we're saving because I want that in the garden next year.
It's pretty nice.
I almost want that in a container next year.
And then here is another type of fig.
Chandelier Happiness Banyan Tree.
Wow, you're really good at that.
I had to practice.
These are our part sun containers. They're not looking amazing, so we're just going to skip them for now.
Mm-hmm.
But Christopher, if you go first, we're just going to walk this way, past the Bloodgood Japanese maple. I'm loving this little area right here with the Sun King Aurelia. This is a perennial. This is not a shrub, if you can believe it. And I think it's due for a dividing because I have another spot in mind for it. With the lavender mist. Are there any fresh blooms? It's so pretty. Lavender mist meadow rue. But this combination.
Oh, hold on. I found one.
Oh, good.
Look at, so this is the same species as that Hewitt's double that we looked at before, but just a little darker flower and not a double flower.
So this bright chartreuse of the Sun King Aurelia combined with the Bloodgood Japanese maple, the true green of the Gatsby Moon Hydrangea, and then the blue of the Brunnera. I'm really happy with this combination. This is the north side of our house, so this is the most part shade area. And if you're looking for a grass that does pretty well in part shade, part sun, this is Morning Light Miscanthus. And how much growth has this Carolina Sweetheart Redbud put on?
It's wild
Tremendous.
how much growth it has put on.
Tremendous. So I'm going to go this way Christopher, if you head that way, we can get a good look at the
Dun,
limelight
dun,
hydrangea hedge. That
flop.
storm crushed it. And we have cut off tons of blooms and given them to friends and family. We are in the midst of deciding what to do about this hedge. We love this hedge. It was planted in 2018, but it might not be here forever. We don't know yet, though. Our very first pufferfish blooms are happening. We planted these last fall. That's pretty cool. Back there, some of the newer panicles, because they perform so well with sturdy stems and enormous blooms, they take a little bit longer to get established. So if you just planted panicle hydrangeas this year and you're not seeing the performance you think you should, just give them some time to let them get established in the ground. We have another Tough Stuff Top Fun hydrangea here. Look at that saffron finch hedge.
Yeah, I gotta say, saffron finch really did well up against budworms, which is not the same as Hoopla Vivid Orchid Supertunia.
Oh, wow, yeah, they are a favorite of the budworms.
Yes, that's happened several times, and they take them so fast. Oh my goodness.
It's like overnight. Check out Woolerton Old Hall. Such a sweet rose. Big fan of this rose. Great color, all the good stuff. And then I just want to show you one more rose bloom, the first of this flush, on Claire Austin.
Always a favorite in the garden, the Shiloh Splash River Birch. Right now it is taken on a little bit deeper of a yellow. The yellow is usually closer to white, but this time of year it's taken on this fun yellow. I really enjoy this tree.
And the fall color, it just kind of does like a traditional like birch gold.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Nothing terribly special, but this tree is amazing, and so it's always special. You can see we've repeated some of the Fall in Love Sweetly Anemone from the other side. Just a few plants in here. Well, it's not a big spreader, so we'll just kind of let it fill itself in there. My new favorite hydrangea over here, Eric. This is Let's Dance Can Do. These did not look so hot after the winter, but we did not protect them this past year. But they've put on a tremendous amount of growth, and there's a lot of new buds coming. So
and these were just planted last fall.
Yes. And then I know Eric's annual of the year from the newer stuff is that Augusta Lavender Heliotrope, but I am finding myself so attracted to Unplugged White. This is a salvia that's coming out in 2025. What I like about it is it's almost a steel color, like a silvery, steely blue. It's hard to describe it. It's not off-white, because that'd be cream. I'm just kidding. It's a really, really
it's a gray
cool
white. Green white? Gray green.
Grayish green white.
We got it.
We got it. All right. The first of the Firelight Tidbits is starting to take on its color. This has always been Eric's favorite panicle hydrangea. This is 4 of them in a nice little grouping here. It just turns into this like carpet of these beautiful smaller panicles that turn a really nice bright pink.
It's interesting. This is the first year, and I wonder if it had to do with our extremely odd spring, that the blooms are kind of paced like this. Normally they're like all at once. I wonder what that's about. It has to be weather related.
It must be, but that's okay. A big success from our day solving garden problems is the way that we have limbed up the Jane Magnolia. It was way too wide. It wasn't able to be mowed underneath. And now, as you can see, it has been edged out. It's all clean under there. And I think this is going to be a really nice magnolia tree as opposed to shrub.
Which is the goal.
That is the goal. This might be the first time we have all the pieces of our container planting going at once. Luscious Royale, Pina Colada Lantana. I practice that one a lot. I love this plant, but I do find that it comes in and out of bloom, so you kind of miss it sometimes. And that's paired with Superbena Sparkling Amethyst. This is the Saffron Finch Supertunia. And down here is Mini Vista Indigo. This pairing, when it's really going, is phenomenal. And in the center is the Rise Up Lilac Days Short Climbing Rose. It's a newer variety from Proven Winners, We have cut this back so hard 2 times, and I'm already seeing more than just those buds.
It's a ton
coming.
of growth happening.
Ton of growth. This will probably, in the next couple weeks, be covered in that really pretty lilac flower. We do repeat this planting 2 more times. Everything is looking swell when it comes to that.
Oh, look at our purple fountain grass.
Yeah, every year, because we are in the Northeast, we have to plant a red grass. We can't get a perennial red grass. They just do not seem to exist. So we plant one every year, and this purple fountain grass is doing exactly what we want. The ageratum across the front, big success with that.
I like that intense color that it provides too.
It looks so nice up against the firelight tidbits as well. Here are some more of those. Here on the burn, there are a few things looking particularly nice at the moment. You can see that we have some Serendipity allium. Right behind that's another Limelight Prime. And behind that, Eric, you can see there are some very vivid zinnias. Those zinnias are actually from seeds that I collected last year. And I wasn't sure if they would come back true to color or if they were some kind of open pollinated situation, but they came back true to color.
Yeah, Bennery's giant lime and Bennery's
giant purple. They are in fact giant, they are lime, and they are purple. So that is a success right there. Another success here, a little worse for the wear with that storm that came through. We have the tall blue planet ageratum, as well as the Moonlight African Marigold. These are also from seed in our little square shapes here under the Princeton Century Ginkgo. I'm really happy with this color combination. It just feels cheerful.
Yeah, it's a nice, I don't know why we didn't do it sooner.
I like it. The double play doozies, Spirea has come back into play, and then you can see up yonder the blue chiffon Rose of Sharon doing very nicely.
Interesting color. It's very nice. We have our little lime hedge here that was just planted last fall. Remember in the spring when these two were just chewed down by the groundhog?
Oh, they were chewed down.
But they're rebounding nicely. Coming over here, Christopher, you can see this is new for 2025. I'm pretty sure it's cookies and cream hibiscus. We have no blooms on it yet, but they're coming.
They are coming. We're going to get some.
And this one right here, I can't remember the name of it.
That is Cherry Chocolata.
Cherry Chocolata. And then in our poor little neglected rose hedge, we have the Crema Rose looking really, really nice. The front corner of our property has a pinky, nope, that's not Pinky Winky. It's
Vanilla Strawberry.
Vanilla Strawberry Hydrangea. This one has nice dark stems. It's got some pink in it with some white. It's nice and upright and tidy, underplanted with the bidens that are doing well. This Firelight Tibbet is behind the others. The Firelight Tibbets are interesting this year, I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised. But look at that pampas grass.
Yeah, I was like, I just got to point out this pampas grass. It hasn't even sent out its plumes, and it is double my height.
Tons of new growth on the Gatsby Pink Oak Leaf Hydrangea. Cheesy in Georgia just got tied in, so don't judge.
I was up on a ladder with this one too. There was nothing I could do but just try to tug them back up.
And the Surefire Rose begonias are blooming their little heads off. We did cut back a little bit of the Light o' Day hydrangea. Lots of fresh new blooms on the Invincible Ruby hydrangeas. This has been an interesting year for the hydrangea room. I think we've learned a couple of things. I don't think we have enough drip on it.
Yeah, I think we need some more water. We have two 2-gallon emitters to each of them, but I almost wonder if we just need more water being broadcast in the whole
I think we just
area.
need like the brown drip that has the emitters every 6 or 10 inches or whatever that is. And I think this one, because it's right by the base of the birch, might need some extra water to it because I think
agree.
the birch is sucking it up. This is out of control, and I love it, but I'm also scared of it now. It's supposed to get 4 by 6.
It's officially more than double your height.
I know. It's supposed to be 4 feet tall, or 4 feet wide and 6 feet tall, and I think that I must really, really like it. Here, Invincible Spirit 2 has sent out some fresh blooms.
Wait, hold on. We have an Aphrodite sweet shrub bloom.
Look at that.
It's the first one we have. We did coppice this down to the ground as well, and it has clearly not been phased by it.
Not phased at all. But that brings us back to the Gothic Arch. And that concludes our mid-August garden check-in. Again, I'm Eric.
And I'm Christopher.
And we're Grow For Me Gardening.
Thanks for growing with us.